Have you ever had the Lego dream where you go into a store in your dreams and you see a row of big black boxes? I would be surprised if you said yes, because typically when people have that dream, you see beautiful box arts of things either you have or have not ever seen in real life, and things that really stimulate the imagination and call your attention. Black box is not the answer.
There's one thing I know about Daniel Lewa, it's that he hates Lego black boxes with a passion. Daniel Lewa, it's not that serious, okay? We're gonna take a look at some of the best Lego box arts and then a little bit of the worst. You know we had to whip out the black hoodies for this video. What's our number one?
Explorian Starship. Now, this goes back to the 1900s, which for Gen Z might feel like a very long time ago, but this is just so beautiful. It's almost like someone hired a retro future artist from the 50s or 60s to paint this amazing backdrop for Star Trek or Space Odyssey or something. It just feels like you're there on a foreign world.
I do see why they moved away from this, however, because the background is so bright and vibrant that you're kind of focusing on it more than the actual set itself. But this is very nostalgic, and Lego could learn from their previous history of box arts and add a little bit more of this creativity.
Next, we have the Pirates of Barracuda Bay. This again is very vibey. You're in the setting. It's a sunrise or sunset on a tropical island that's been completely taken over by pirates. But the colors here are very beautiful, and it's interesting to note that the background here, while beautiful, it doesn't detract or distract as much as the previous ones we've seen, while still providing kind of this unplayful prompt for you to set your stories in.
This could have easily been on a black box background, and it may have been a plus that it wasn't, because I don't know, and it's up to our audience to decide how important are the boxes when buying a set.
To me, if this was on a black box art, I would have been way less inclined to initially buy it. Next, we have the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeon from the Master of the Mountain season of Ninjago. This goes to show that the 90s space sets weren't the only things that were kind of making you feel like you're in a place. This is a very foreboding setting, and the lighting in the box art does a very good job of making this feel like a dark and intimidating place, which it is in the show. And if anything, this makes it feel even more kind of visceral than it does in the show.
Oh, 100%. And we can talk a little bit about the overlays that are outside of the background artwork, such as here we have the night version of Cole. But even the background that they chose for behind the Ninjago font works really well.
Up next, we have the Slave One sunset on Bespin with Cloud City eclipsing slightly the sun in the background. And this is a UCS set. Do you feel like this feels too kiddyified?
I don't know if this feels kiddyified, and this is just one thing that adults need to realize is it is what you make it. Like, I play with Pokemon cards and I'm 25 years old. Could you consider that kiddie? Yes. Could you consider that cool? Yes. Whatever it is you want to make it, this is your platform for creativity. The background just giving you a cool prompt. Some people care about it more than others, such as Daniel Lewa really does care about the box art. I think this is cooler with this background than if it was, today, if it came out, it probably would be on a black background.
But I think this shows that even UCS, Ultimate Collector Series Star Wars ships, are done a service by having a very nice presentation on the box.
It could have been cool to have the Mos Eisley Cantina on not a black background. It's something similar to this where we get a reminiscent Star Wars setting would have been pretty cool. Personalized to that set.
A little bit of a honorable mention. The original Gen 1 Toa and all of Bionicle had really nice box art. That's the art that we love. Now, why are we talking about this? Because I am sick of the Lego Group putting things that should not be on black box art onto plain black boxes. Let's look at this. We have the Sesame Street slapped onto a black box. This is the most depressing set I've ever seen. And I would almost guarantee, if we looked at their sales numbers, the fact that they put it on this, the most boring, saddest box, tanked their sales in comparison to if they had put it onto like an actual Sesame Street looking place, like on an actual street with like a brick floors or something around it. This is marketed to 18 plus people who grew up with the original show. If you're an adult thinking back to Sesame Street, what comes to mind? The black void of nothingness and existential dread? It's the soothing comfort of being with your friends, Elmo and Big Bird. This just does not do that. So whether it was marketed to adults or kids, such a sad mistake, missed opportunity.
But think about thought process, though. They had to make this decision, though. The reason that they made this decision is because it's an 18-plus set, so they want to make sure adults feel like they're getting a professional, eclectic display piece, right?
Yes.
How many pieces, like, how much did this cost though? Do you know that much?
120.
This cost $120, which is honestly a mid-range for Lego sets nowadays. This is not so expensive that you need to put it on that black box in order to sell it. There's kid sets with zany backgrounds, such as the new Dreams ones coming out, that are $200 plus with are going to have zany box art. So it's, yes, it doesn't make sense even on the side of the box here, not even the front one. Seeing these Sesame Street characters with a pure black background seems strange. They are sucked into your nightmares. There's a reason this was on discount at Target. Guys, get your box arts together before Daniel Lewa has to lose any more brain cells.
Another key example. We've all been looking forward to, at least Castle fans have been looking forward to, the return of the medieval town square, medieval type village. And we were treated to this. Medieval town square in March of this year. The set is beautiful. I built it last month. It's on my shelf. I love it. It's amazing. It's so detailed. It's such a great build. But when I first saw the box, I'm like, I am so depressed right now looking at this. I do not want to buy it just because it looks like it's not any fun. And for a town square, something that's supposed to be lively and be a big setting and stuff going on, if it's set in a black hole, it doesn't feel like that. And I think one of the issues is that these kinds of black boxes work when you're trying to sell like an icon, true icon or a landmark or something that kind of stands on its own. The Sesame Street, it's kind of a mix of things, different buildings. The town square, it's a mix of buildings, side builds, figures, and it just does not work for that. So if you look at a black box that I think does work very well, the Avengers Tower, I think this works fantastically because you know exactly what you're getting. It feels very premium. You have the profile of the building on the side, you have the big striking skyscraper on the front, and you can clearly see you have the figures and the side builds and everything going on. And adults can be just like, oh, I love Marvel. This looks so cool. It's an Avengers Tower. Fantastic. So yeah, it is interesting like why it works for this and not something like the town square.
Right. It is an iconic building. It kind of makes sense, like the Pyramid of Giza being on a black background, the Taj Mahal, because putting those in a vibrant background would seem a little off. There is also something to be said about price. When you're paying $500+ for a Lego set, you need to feel like you're getting a premium set, or else you really need to. That's what I was saying about Sesame Street. Doesn't necessarily need to. The medieval town square does not need to be in a black box. That sucks away all the individuality from that set being one of the rest. When in reality, it's very unique, one of a kind set. Not to mention, it coincides perfectly with the Lion Knight's Castle, who had a completely bright retro background. Granted, this isn't an exact remake of a retro set, but you still could have maybe followed that theme to feel like you're getting something matching in a DLC to the Amazing Lion Knight's Castle. This is very much a play set as much as it is a display set. This is not desk piece you're going to put at work. You're going to want to play with this with your Lion Knight's Castle. There's something to be said about price. However, it doesn't have to be an expensive set for the black box to necessarily work.
Exactly. And you may think, wow, what are you guys doing? You were splitting hairs over the dumbest things. And yes, that is true. But if you think about it, precious resources of our planet are being put into making these things. So could they at least be, inspiring in some way? Just as another great example of black box art that works, the new Starship collection from Star Wars, including the Millennium Falcon. This is perfect. This is what the black box art was made for. It looks so good. The colors all look fantastic. The little glow in the background highlighting the ship. Fantastic. 18 plus. Adults can buy this and feel proud of their little model that they've put together. But that's not something that we should be giving the Sesame Street or medieval town square treatment.
Right. And honestly, I would even take it to Optimus Prime. He doesn't necessarily have to be on a black background. Yes, you are feeling you're getting a premium product. I know kids with that set that are just straight up playing with it because it is just like all Legos are premium products, right? We're not shilling out hundreds of dollars for absolutely no reason. Every one of them is a premium product. The black box works great for collector's items and, adult, but I think Voltron did amazing. I think that set is very well received and it has a colorful background that represents that era of when that cartoon came out. It didn't have to be a 1 in 5,000 black box backgrounds to be professional and to be awesome.
So, moving forward, what do we hope to see? We hope to see some passion and creativity behind the art here. I mean, no, none of this really matters, but if you are going to spend hundreds of dollars on something, and especially something that you want to stimulate your creativity in some way, like to see a little creativity in the actual art here. That's all.
It's just really cool to see sets like the Ninjago Hydro Bounty where it has custom artwork on top of the box, empowering artists, providing something unique, and providing so much individuality to that Lego set. That's how you feel like you're getting something special. The black box can provide personality in a different way, but I think it should be used more carefully than it is right now.
So what do you think? Do you think everything that's 18 plus should be slapped onto a black box, or do you want to see more fun boxes of marketing in the future? Let us know right in the comments below, and we will see you next time on Sakuga Builds.
Hey, someone has to be mad about something.